Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm going to do some reviews, try to do it real quick. I have played through every single game at least once, and I've already ranked them. I have taken notes. I have my little OneNote open here on my second monitor, so I'm going to be basically going off those notes, kind of playing the game and just doing it kind of quick, partly because I don't have a whole lot of time right now. And also I'm doing another game jam, and I'm doing audio for somebody, for a team. So I really, just want to get this done. But I also want to make it helpful. So I'm just going to go through stuff with all my notes. That's why I didn't do the initial playthrough of every game, because it would have been really bloated. I wouldn't have really given good feedback, and it just would have been good. So yeah. So anyway, I'm starting with the lowest ranked game first. So I'm going to work my way up all the way to my top ranked game. So the first game we have is 3D video card throttling Mega Newton game by orSQUADstra, which is like orchestra, I guess, but orSQUADstra. I don't know. Maybe that's not what you meant, but it's kind of cool name. Okay, so I'm going to do this whole thing as pros and cons, or at least I'm going to try to. So the pros first, I can press escape to exit out of this game and not just click the X button. So that's boom. Yeah, that's cool. The theme usage. Okay, theme usage is exceptionally strong, right? It is all here, but it's sort of in a joking way. But it's that's cool. But basically, yeah, you have your 3 laws of motion. Are these Newton's laws of motion? You have yes or no, yep, nope, whatever, and obviously, yep. You're correct. You win. And here's the best part of the game is don't forget to buy the Maybe Button DLC for $59.99. So that's really the only reason I enjoyed this, was that. So it got a little chuckle out of me when I first played it. And yeah, so that's a pro. And also with this joke game, nobody else did a joke game. And you did it. So you fulfilled the joke game quota for the jam single-handedly. Thank you so much. We needed this. So my last good thing to say about this is it's terrible. All right. And my con for this is it's terrible. So that is all for that. So good little joke game, I guess. Moving on to the next. All right. F equals M times Apple by Tom Edwards. Did I click one? Yes, it did. Oh, well, okay. All right. So with this, pros, you can toggle the music on and off. You got your little buttons here. Start game, quit game. It's all very simple and pretty effective. It's nice. Start game. And I really, really like the animation of Newton. It's great. He's got little stumpy legs and he goes do 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 do. It's really cool. So anyway, it's a simple and effective use of the theme. Just like, apples falling tree, Newton, a little story that most people probably know, at least people in the US. And if you don't, you can always Google. So let's see. Yeah, that's about it for the pros. Yeah. I would have to say the biggest con, well, I don't know, not the biggest con, but just like there's no instructions whatsoever. So, which is not a super big deal because there's, it's a simple game. There's very little to it. So you can figure out things pretty quick. But the main issue is, I'm going to die pretty soon. Well, here's one issue is that when it starts to get bad, well, I did worse than usual. When it starts to get bad, you pretty much have you can't do much. It's not based on skill is what I'm saying too much. Like no matter how good you are going to die at pretty much the exact same point. So it's not the greatest game design in that sense. And because of that, it doesn't actually give you as much enjoyment because you don't have much control. Your skill can't take you very far. And so you can't really feel like you've done well or anything. You just kind of feel like the game played itself in a way. So it's a little unsatisfying in that way. And it's also extremely simple, and that's just kind of the thing. So it's not, not super fun. But yeah, no instructions whatsoever. So you have to kind of figure out things, which wouldn't be too much of a problem, but there's different colored apples. So you think, all right, that's weird. You have a ton of red apples, so most likely those are probably going to hurt you. But then there's green apples. What do those green apples do? You get hit by one. Oh, that hurts. So you find out green apples hurt you, which that's kind of weird. And then you wonder, all right, there's a brown apple and there's a golden apple. Do those also hurt? Is it just different colors? And that's what I assumed first because I got hit by a green one first. But actually, if you hit the yellow apple, you gain a heart. And if you get hit by the brown apple, you just totally die. It's an instant KO. So, yeah, I guess I don't need to show that. So it would have been nice just to have that, somewhere, instructions somewhere, just to say this is what the apples do. And then it would have been pretty good. So anyway, overall though, it's not too bad of a game. It's pretty well complete. So that's pretty good. All right, so we got Gimbo the Ghost by RargraveEntertainment. And the unfortunate thing with this game, like a number of other people, my mic is not picked up because it says talking into our microphone to jump. But obviously it doesn't work. That's just the test. Hello. It's just the doi kind of thing. It does automatically. Yeah. So I can't really say a lot about this game because, well, here. Let's go into the readme. So it says assets, juke deck, Kenny's assets, game record, microphone, input. I don't know if that means it's an asset or if you just use the what is it? Functions, built-in functions in GML or something. So basically, very little of the game seems to be made by you, which I don't know. Maybe you didn't have a lot of time. That'd be one thing. But also, I really like to reward people who put in effort to challenge themselves. And I might be wrong, but it doesn't seem like you really did that a lot with this game. You just kind of made something and put it together, which is great. It's better than nothing. But at the same time, I would prefer to see people put more effort, more of their own stuff into them. Like, even if they're not good at music or art, at least to try to do something in that to grow personally and just, push yourself a little bit. And that's kind of part of the challenge and the goal. Personally, that's how I see it. And I have to vote according to how I see things, and that's how everybody should do it. It's just kind of, that's how I feel. So sorry if, you don't agree or whatever, but that's why I have to put it down. And also, since I couldn't play the game myself, I had to watch Misu's review, his video review, because his mic worked. So I could also say, like the jumping seems too floaty. The hammer detection is really screwy. And the player, as Misu pointed out, the player character needs to be centered up, like more up here on the screen, up here, so that if they're falling, the player can see what's below them quicker and respond, like react accordingly. Like if they're gonna fall on the hammers, like, oh no, run away, go this way. So yeah, there's some problems. But the pro basically is that overlooking all the issues, the concept to use a mic is pretty cool. The mic to jump. It's not like it's a new idea, but it's just cool that you did it because it's definitely unique and not a well-trodden path or whatever like that. Most people don't do it, is what I'm saying. All right, so let's go to the next one. We got Untitled by Bentley. This one I enjoyed more than I thought I would. Okay, every once in a while I gotta make sure my mic is still going, because if it cuts out, it'll just stop. Because I have an audio interface and I have to run a certain thing. Oh, okay. Let me fix this. If it goes full screen, I have to change my capture to, where is it? This? There it is. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have any sound or anything. Oh, I need to get my notes up too. All right. So I don't know, something about it. It's kind of visually appealing to me. I don't know why exactly. It's just maybe the colors, the particles. It's smooth. Yeah, it's like the snowflakes and like the friction particles are a good little plus. The controls feel good too. Like they're simple and you have pretty good control. You know, you can slow down and you can just hop and oh yes, that's a con there. Like it just has your little message thing. And I know that in your README you say, I just couldn't finish. It sounds like you didn't really have much time or something. So this kind of thing would be like your developer message, which is what it's intended to be for. And you just left it in. I'm guessing that's why. So, you know, but yeah. So yeah, it has a lot of potential to be really good, I guess, but it didn't really make it. I like how when you hit those things, they break and they particles and stuff. Yeah, particles are great. So yeah, I can't really say too much more about that. I did get an error one time when I hit this B, and it's never happening again. I don't know why. But basically, it was just like variable object underscore sect 3 underscore bot underscore mid dot surf. Yeah, a bunch of numbers. Not set before reading it though. At GML underscore script underscore destroy underscore terrain. So anyway, it's just a little thing. That's actually the only error, like a game-breaking error that I got from any game this jam. That's kind of interesting. Usually I have more than that. So congratulations. All right. Next up, we got Buttman by Phynam? I don't know. So, pros on this game. It is kind of funny. All right, Super ButtChin Man Saves the World. I don't know why that has Buttman and then Super ButtChin Man Saves the World. They're a little different titles there. Alrighty. So, yeah, kind of funny. Graphics are not too shabby. The game is challenging enough to make it entertaining. And theme usage is pretty good, even though it doesn't really make sense for resistance to add like momentum or force or whatever it is. But I wouldn't say that's really like a... Oh, weird. I don't know why I put that as like a pro. Oh, no, it's because... Oh, I'm dead. Sorry, I was reading my notes over here. But basically, even though it doesn't make sense, it kind of does because you're like a superhero. So it's like you hit something and that powers you up. You're like, oh, yeah. It's like adrenaline or something, I guess. Something like that. So it sort of makes sense. So anyway, I forgot how to play. Okay, that's how you play. Oops. I am terrible at this game. I made it further before. I made it to a really tall building and then I hit that and it was over. Very, very much so. So, time left. I'm not sure what I meant by time left interjections in my notes. But basically, oh yeah, the various form changes. How do you do that again? Like this. I don't know what those do. Like, how, I mean, it's weird. So that was confusing. Is it just like visual? Whoops. And another thing is the pounds of force that you have. It would have been nice to actually, instead of putting that in the text file only, to be able to link the numbers to the actual animals or obstacles. Because then you could more readily see, you know, what you're dealing with, and if you have enough force to deal with it. Otherwise, it's kind of like you have to memorize things, and it's just a little weird. Oh wait, I think I can kill that. Yeah. And can I? Yes. So, oh wait. Oh yeah, you can. Okay. Wow. I don't know. Can I get this guy? Yes, I can. And I have no idea what those are. It's just like, that's where I made it before and I died. Anyway. And let's see, some objects are bigger than they appear also, so you might unfairly hit them when trying to avoid them. And also I did notice that you use ZBG's platform engine, and I don't know, I mean, I just prefer to see more people program like something that simple too. It would have been nice to see you do it yourself, but maybe you're newer to game makers, so maybe you needed that. Maybe this was a challenge to you. If you challenged yourself and grew from this, then that's good. That's really all I would expect and hope for somebody to accomplish. So, but yeah, still I tend to rate games lower when a good chunk of the engine or something is made by somebody else, just as a rule of thumb. Because I would actually prefer seeing people, even if they know hardly anything, just to make a really terrible, simple something, but do it all themselves. And then that way you grow more and you challenge yourself a little bit more. At least I think that's my personal opinion. So moving on, Superpower by the M. So the first time I played this, I didn't actually realize there's a little bit more to it, but not really. There's not a lot. But he did say that unfortunately this game is kind of incomplete and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's in there. So basically I see the theme usage and where you kind of have every action gives an opposite reaction, I guess, is like the main theme. That's the only thing I've really seen in this. And because of that, I kind of have to say, I don't know, it's a bit too loose of an interpretation since it's not really related to motion. So, but I mean, I see the mild connection. It's just not enough for me to really say it's a great attempt. But that said, I do still kind of like the idea. It's interesting. So, you know, you can do your research here. Here's one thing. I really don't know, how in the world do you manage your budget and such? Like, how do you gain funds? You can press enter to progress to the next week. But I don't really know what's going on. How do you know what kind of money you're going to be getting or losing, that kind of stuff? How do you manage the economy? So it is just a little unfortunate in that regard, but I guess it's because it's incomplete. So basically, yeah, you can do a few things, send in some spies or counter spies, whatever, and then different people are like, oh, we discovered you doing this, and how do you want to respond? And so it's kind of cool. But yeah, there's really not much to do in it. And it does have some issues. Like, I think if I progress enough weeks, I wonder if I can do it again, or if it was just a specific little error. Happy New Year. No, it always does it. Because once you go through enough weeks, then it skips. See, it goes by years along with the weeks. See, and I think that's a bug. Yeah. So every time then it's like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Every week is a Happy New Year. Anyway, but it's, yeah. So that's kind of cool. But obviously unfinished. But I don't know why I'm not talking properly. Unfinished. So let's see. The graphics are simple, clean, and effective. So that's good. I don't really have a whole lot to say about that. Yeah, so I'm just going to move on. All right, so we got Newton's Cave by Landon, PixelTitan, and OverLogic. And with this one, it is kind of unfortunate because it doesn't have a lot of content before it just doesn't really freeze, but you can't do anything. But I really like the intro. It's very cinematic or something. Maybe not cinematic, but sort of. It's a little quiet. He's actually saying stuff there.
Seems like I wasn't the first one here.
So here's the thing though. Actually, I'm gonna start with cons. Having the smoke particles on the mouse, the first time I played it, made me think that there's some kind of mouse control, but then I'm like going out here and it goes away. It's just kind of weird. Like I just wonder, what is this? Why is this? So, and there was no instructions at all here, so you really don't know what's going on. And so then I had to figure out arrow keys move or WASD. So not too hard to figure out, but it's just kind of a little misleading thinking that maybe the mouse is going to do something when it doesn't. So also, let's see. The door down here is really buggy. Like I could go through it right now. Even though it's closed, it'll go through, but I don't want to do that just yet. Let's see here. So you pick up this thing.
This just doesn't make any sense.
This just doesn't make any sense. I do agree. This whole thing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, just because it's not very complete. But yeah, that thing went up here as if maybe this thing, you weren't supposed to have it yet. I don't know. It's probably just very incomplete. And then that like opens, whoops, and closes the door down here. But like I said, you can go through it no matter what anyway. And also, oh no! Anyway. But I gotta say, the graphics and the presentation, like everything, runs real smooth, and the whole cinematic type opening and everything, the presentation is great. But yeah, this is the unfortunate part. You can't do anything. This is where it ends. So yeah, the audio is pretty good. The character movement code seems pretty solid. Oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, it'll have to go through the whole thing again. There's no way to skip the intro though. You can't press a button to zip past it or anything. But yeah, that's just a little thing that I noticed. The character movement code seems good. I look at those things usually. Do. There we go.
Seems like I wasn't the first one here.
All right. But yeah, like if you are pressing up or down, those take priority in the animation. So like I'm pressing left and right, it doesn't matter if I'm pressing up or yeah, I'm not saying this very well. Anyway, I just noticed this coded actually pretty nice. The movement and plus animations. Sometimes people overlook that stuff, and certain combinations of keys kind of don't do what they should do. Also, he doesn't move super fast when he's going at an angle. It seems like they've done all the correct movement type stuff. You know, it's all basic stuff, but it's notable. So it's good. All right, so the next game, Weird Space by Humayun. Alrighty. So, wait. Oh yeah. Okay, with this one, I'm just gonna start with the cons. Start with the bad first, then with the good. So it goes through this stuff really fast. It's the instructions. You also learn basic controls of the ship. Your mission is to take ship to the target. Target is drawn on the radar top right corner. Right? No, left. And then it's just saying all this stuff really quick. And if you're supposed to be looking up here and trying to see what it's talking about, you're taking your focus off of that. This really should have been player controlled to progress the text when they were ready. So that's kind of just a pretty big thing. I mean, it's one thing to be just with text that doesn't matter too much, but with instructions, it's pretty important to let the player have the control over that, so they can actually get what they need to out of it. All right, so that aside, I also kind of felt like the gameplay is a bit, I don't know, not very fun for me, just because you have your destination and then you just have to go through it all, and you can't go super fast because if you do, you're gonna be caught with your pants down, so to speak, and not be able to escape a planet's sucking you in or something. So you just have to kind of... Oh, wait. I just realized maybe it's not that far. I guess I didn't actually play this that long, because isn't that the end? Maybe... Oh. Wait, do I need to like slow down and go into it, I guess? This is, as you might be able to tell, I did not play this through till the end. But I think this is the end right here. Except success. Okay. Alright, so that's actually not too bad. But still, I don't know, it's still not that fun. I expected it to be like further out. It seemed, yeah, that doesn't seem right. Like, it seems like I played it before and it was a lot further. Is it random or something? Huh, anyway. But I just didn't really find it all that fun. And I also thought it was a little bit weird that like the little rocks don't hurt you, but then the bigger rocks do. It's just kind of strange. But at least the little rocks are, the difference between the small and the large rocks is very easy to tell. So it's not really a problem, it's just kind of strange. So I gotta say though, the graphics are nice, the animation and everything, all that, it's very cool, very good. The use of the theme is very good, I would say, just as far as physics. The theme is, oh, that's death. The theme is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's hard to use. Like, I like the potential in the theme, but you get just a lot of only mechanic kind of stuff, and I don't know how to say this really, but it's almost like it's really hard to make it the theme focus. Like the entire game is about the physics, as opposed to something like this where it's just a game with physics, kind of. Like, the theme of this is, I don't know, yeah, I'm not saying this right. It's just, it's difficult to make this, make it really use a theme in an awesome way. But this is a good use of the theme. It's really good, solid. It's hard to use this theme really well. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. So let's see. Next up, we got Relative Fray by Yokcos. Yokcos. Whoops. I have to fix the game capture here. Alright. Relative Fray. Whoops. So, I've got to say with this one, it just feels like it lacks a certain level of polish. Like, your shots just disappear, they don't explode or anything. The enemies, when they blow up, it's more like they disappear rather than they explode. And also, there's a pretty big lack of any kind of animation. Like, enemy ships don't have any moving parts, no blinking lights or anything. They just kind of, there's sprites. The theme usage is kind of weird. Like, you point in a direction and then everything goes to line up with it. And I understand Relative Fray, I get that, but I don't understand the whole point. Like, why? It seems just pointless. Maybe it's incomplete or something, but I just, like, this entire game just felt very unfocused, like it doesn't know what it wants to be or something. But I really like the graphics for the most part. It's kind of strange, like, because they're higher resolution than maybe most games would be, the lack of animation and everything is all the more apparent. So it almost goes against the game to be higher resolution rather than some kind of pixel art. Like, yeah. So I don't know, just this one, it left me feeling like it's just missing too much or something like that. It's really odd loss. You know, pretty simple, just text and kind of stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it too much. But I do want to say that the intro thing is very effective. Yeah, okay, it's still doing it right. Just says WASD to move, mouse shoot, escape quit. You know, that's really good that you just put that out there and it's really easy. So I like that. It's got simple simple controls. All right. You know, I hope I'm doing this all correctly. I hope so. I hope I just realized I might not have turned off my game capture before, but I think it'll still capture the other games because of the way I have OBS working here. Anyway, so I've got to say, Yokcos, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I really, really did enjoy some of your past games like Anti-Death and Wizard Terrorist. So maybe that's also why, like, I recognized your name, and maybe I kind of had certain expectations too. And your game was just a little different than those ones. Like, and it just didn't, I mean, it had sort of, I can see your same kind of art in a way. It's there. But it's just like it just wasn't nearly as fun to me as those ones. Or it wasn't even as complete, or the concept didn't seem as good. But I'm guessing maybe you just weren't really inspired as much by the theme, just like a lot of the people weren't very inspired. So whatever. But anyway, not a terrible try anyway. It's just maybe I expected more out of you because I've actually seen some of your stuff and really, really enjoyed it. And so I guess you should be taking that as a good thing that I didn't really like this game because of those things. All right, so moving on, we got Satellites by Sylvain L. I think is how I pronounce that. Okay. So with this game, I would say it's a pretty good use of theme. I mean, as far as, it uses physics, and that's about all you can really do with the theme, unless you go into some really, really unique stuff and you get a great theme idea. So that's why I consider this a good theme. It's difficult to get a great theme with this, in my opinion. All right, pretty good use of theme. So overall presentation of the game and the completion level of the game is good because you have all your stuff. I've already done some things. I am terrible at this game. The audio choice is really great for this. It's got all that spacey stuff. And I also would say this game is very challenging, which in some ways is not a good thing, but it's a great thing. So you got your stuff. Oh yeah, I am more than terrible at this game. So somehow I didn't really feel this game was very fun though. Even when I did do a little bit better, I had more fun in Terminator mode because otherwise I'm just terrible. Yeah. But basically the reason why I didn't feel as fun is because the challenge level didn't really yield a high enough feeling of reward to make it enjoyable. And also, I gotta say, the other bad thing is that the font is kind of hard to read. Like, just with all the dots in the middle. I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's readable, but yeah. So I'd say the font choice wasn't really great. Yeah. It's stylized. Style is cool, but you also got to make it readable, like nicely readable. There's a balance there. So, not your fault, exactly. It's just that whoever made the font, I don't know. Probably just personal opinion too there. But yes, moving on. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that great. But hey, this is kind of how it goes with me. I'm doing my best to make the reviews good. But yeah. AstroNewt on AstroNewt. It's a good play on, well, not really even a play on, it's whatever. It's wording, cool wording, by Willisburg. So with this one, I would say it's very, very unique mechanics, which is ultimately cool despite being somewhat flawed. The character graphics, just pretty cool. Like, I really like just the style. It's awesome. And the time slowdown mechanic in this game is really cool too. Now, the lack of proper instructions though, is not really a great thing. Like the README, all it has are credits. All right. So, I mean, you have the graphical instructions here, but they're a little bit hard to really see because they're small, and there's a black grid that is kind of just getting in the way and making it less readable. So I kind of had to sort of figure out things that the whole opposite reaction thing, I get that. So basically, at first I thought I had to run these blocks into the player to make him move. So I was trying to do that, and obviously if I can get things here, right, it is space, right? Yeah. If I do that, like, because I would wait for a block to get close, and then I would do that, and I literally thought that I was making him bounce off the blocks because of the nature of how they doink, they go like that, you know? So it looked like it was knocking him away. So I was playing for a little while thinking that's how it worked, and it led to some really weird confusion. You know, it's like I'd be shooting a block somewhere else to make it move. Oh, and I forgot about that. And then I thought my guy was moving on his own. I was like, what? He randomly just moves, all this stuff. So it was bad. It was terrible. So then I thought the game was way, way harder than it really is. Only later to find out, well, actually, it's just hard. It is still very difficult, but it's not as terrible. Especially since you have the slowdown mechanic. Whoops, wait. But I still actually never made it past this level. It's difficult, even when you know how it works. I found it, even though you have time slowdown, which helps a lot, the movement mechanic to click on these boxes, it's just a little annoying. Because, I don't know, you've got to have the time. And also, you have this huge area to look at. And if you have a box somewhere way over here and you got your character over here, you kind of have to split your attention. And it doesn't work super well to do that. It can be really difficult to make sure you're aiming things correctly. So yeah, in most cases, the time slowdown solves a lot of the otherwise like things that would be a huge issue, but it doesn't patch over the issues entirely. So that said, I would say kudos for coming up with a really unique control scheme. It's interesting. Like it's the whole uniqueness versus intuitiveness. I'd say ultimately it's a positive thing where the uniqueness was worth the unintuitive aspect of it, I guess. So it's still cool and I'm glad you did it. But I just find it too hard to play. So next game, the Arena of Flying Balls. Let's see, how long have I gone? Oh boy, this is going to be... I wanted to just do this in one video. Shoot. All right, Arena of Flying Balls. Let's just go through this. I don't have much time anyway. All right. So for this game, I said good sound usage. Apart from the menus, very, very nice presentation because, here's the menu. It's very just text, some stylized text, but, theme usage is really good. The cons, I gotta say, the mouse needs more thrust. Like you thrust, and I understand, like the A and D. Oh shoot, I'm dead. All right, but yeah, I've got to say, the control is so difficult on this game. That's because of the mouse. The zooming and the mouse position, all that, it makes controlling it so hard that the direction is relative to the mouse position, mouse and camera position, all that. So that getting all together, it can be really hard to control, especially since the camera isn't totally... It's almost like you don't have control over it, even though I understand that the closer you are to the center, the more it zooms in. But it's very, very difficult to control, like too much so. Like I like a good challenge, but there is the challenges that get annoying because they're so difficult, or what is it? Well, not really difficult. There's a word I'm looking for. I'm missing it, but it's just ultimately it's not fun. Not fun for me anyway. And also, it would have been nice to have the high scores showing all the time, not just at the game over screen. But that's just kind of a little nitpick, I guess. Overall, it's pretty good, I guess. But I just didn't really find it all that enjoyable. just a little more annoying than fun challenge. All right. Newton's Tanks by Zodaris, something. So this, I mean, I used to play Gorillas, which is or I mean, there's also Worm Wars and there's other things, but those are kind of more the ones that I grew up with. And there's also like, I don't know, Tank or something, which is more of what this one is based off of, I think. So anyway, you have your versus AI. You got the main game, which is just like 2 players, I guess. I thought it was pretty cool. It's very simple. The menu, I wouldn't say is like great, but I really like this little GUI. It's really nice. But one thing I gotta say is basically your angle to 12, power to 100, and I think that should just nail them pretty much every time, despite whatever the wind is doing. If you go really, really low, you can just smash them. So it's kind of unfortunate. Basically, the point that I want to make here is that wind alone really didn't make this enough of a challenge, even if I was fighting the AI right now. Oh, wow. All right. I guess it can do a little bit. But for the most part, you can just nail them every time with that. But what I really would have liked to see, I wonder if you can actually do that if the wind is that strong. Like, I wonder if you could even actually hit them. Huh. Let's try practice. How fast can the wind go? All right, -10. So let's see if I can even hit them at all. Like, the angle would have to be a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if you tested that. Come on. I think it might just stop short. Like, pretty much no matter what. Because if you fire too much, yeah, there's no way to hit them, I don't think, when the wind is that strong. Anyway, overall really cool though. I like how you did the AI and everything and the math. It's pretty cool. I like how you can speed up the shots here, which I probably should have done that before when I was testing that. But yeah, I really like how you did all that stuff. The whole thing feels pretty solid, even though you can like move and back up behind the AI, or not AI, the GUI. And so that's a little weird, but anyway, that's only in practice. Yeah, really cool. I would have liked to see like hills or something to make it more of a challenge. That's what I was going to try to say before. But, you know, maybe you ran out of time. Maybe you wanted to do something like that too, but you just couldn't. So, oh, one thing though, I got to say, it really made me sad that I tried to do this. Put my angle all the way up. Oops, that's too far. We want the 90 degree. And then boom. And wait for it. Nothing. It was so sad, man. I can't shoot myself. No reward for the old boomerang shot. That is so sad. So that really let me down there. Like, I'm being half serious there, because that's just one of the great joys, is just to be able to blow yourself up in those games. And maybe that's just me, because I am weird. But yeah. So anyway, but yeah, ultimately I had a bit of fun with that. That was pretty cool. All right, so we got Newton's Laws of Roguelike by Guilherme Oliveira. Vieira? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm probably ruining a whole bunch of people's names here. And with this, we got our README. I forgot what it said. A lot of stuff, but it was lit up. Oh, yes. So this game is really quite buggy. Oh, space restarts level, right? So that regenerates your thing here. got E. Now with this, when I first played it, I did not realize that the graphics were their public domain, which is unfortunate. At first I was thinking, oh, cool, I can praise the graphics and stuff. But ultimately, I guess in the end, all I can do is praise your choice of graphics. So the use of theme, this is the only one that I really thought did a great job of actually taking Newton's laws of motion and not making it about the motion, but still actually using the laws, like interpreting them in a different way. Okay, that's one of the things I don't understand with the chests. And also I think there's like hearts and stuff, and they just fly downward. So I think it's just a bug or something. Yeah, you can't get it. Anyway, but what I was saying is I really thought you did a great job with that interpretation of the theme. Really, really cool. Wait, I thought they just wake up. Strange. Like I hit them once before and then they would wake up. But they're not doing it in this. So you have to blow them up. There we go. Huh. Oh. He goes, oh, interesting. All right. So the level generation is cool. I forgot if you, let's see, level generation. I know that you, watched this random dungeon generation video for, so, you know, you had a lot of help for a lot of it. But at least you still kind of put things together. But the main thing I really want to praise you for is, as I was saying, the use of the theme is a really cool idea. I didn't see anybody pull off that kind of theme usage. But for the rest of the game, I can't really say a whole lot. It doesn't really impress me that much, just because if you do this, you get stuck in the walls, and you can see your feet through that. You know, there's a whole bunch of little things that just kind of really makes the presentation of the game isn't that great. Even though you use good art assets, they're kind of ruined because of all this other stuff doesn't work super great. At least the game doesn't, just have some fatal errors that I have found so far. But it just, it just doesn't feel all that great. But, yeah, the differences in the logs and stuff, very cool. And that is all I have to say. That is all I have to say for that one. So next we got Drunk Cosmonaut by Rio85 and Daniel Zimmerman. This one, the graphics are actually pretty nice. And I don't really speak like this very often, but the cosmonaut is very cute, and it must be his stumpy legs. I don't really say cute very often, but it is quite cute, so I have to say it. I should have read what the things were. I forgot what the controls were. Oops. All right, so the music is good. Let's see, accelerate. Shift is repair, right. Shift. I'd say the music's good. The overall presentation is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's great, like not as high as great, but not as low as just okay. So in other words, good job, really good job. And the things I gotta say though, it's the HP mechanic on the station is just really broken. It's like no matter what, you cannot win this. At least maybe I just had really bad luck. I don't know if those rocks, like for example, that rock hit that, and even if that was at full health, I'm pretty sure it always takes the same amount of HP down. And it's not dependent on how broken something is. Like the HP isn't, it's like it doesn't act like it should. It always starts at 100. It feels like to me like the HP should be dependent on the level of health for each individual section all combined, so that if everything was blue, it'd be 100%. But instead, you just have these big rocks, which you cannot stop in any way. Actually, if you get in front of the rock, you'll get stuck in it, and then you'll have to restart. But yeah, you can't protect it basically. So you have a limited amount of time to heal everything or whatever, repair everything, and you always end up losing though. So it's just kind of annoying because of that. And I'm wondering if maybe you intended to do it the way I was talking about, but you didn't have time or something. I don't know. But it was just kind of unfortunate because of that. And the collisions and physics are also a bit buggy. As I said, I got stuck in the big rock. And I think I got stuck in another way too before, or like it bounced weird, something. I've had some weird stuff happen. But it does appear that you guys, yeah, sorry for the bugs. So you guys are aware of the bugs. But anyway, overall still pretty fun. But my conclusion of that is don't drink in space, because it's a little crazy. I really like how you have them spin around, even though it's a little bit annoying in that game. You kind of like lose control a bit. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Recoil Schmecoil by Gond Pivot. G-Hand Pivot, Gond Pivot. I think it's Gond Pivot. This one. Oh, whoops. Okay, see, that's one thing I really wanted to talk about first. Is whoops. Here, let me put this back. There we go. Nice. Clicking out, because you have to use that to bump yourself away. You have to go towards the edge. And I find it easy to click out because why? Because the mouse is white and we have a lot of white and light colors. Like the light gray is even pretty light. So it can be hard, especially when you're trying to focus on the enemy. It can be hard to always be aware where the mouse is. So it can be easy to click out. And on top of that, you click out, the game continues. It still keeps playing. It would have been one thing if it paused, but it's even worse that it doesn't pause when the game is out of focus. But apart from that, I really like how the box. See, like the box moves around and swings or spins. It's just really cool, and just everything. It feels really great. The power of the shots and everything moves you around really great. I like that you made it so you can actually move with the arrows a little bit too, and not totally rely on the force, because other games did that where you could not move at all and you had to jump only with the force, and those were kind of annoying to me. Like it felt like more of a chore than it was fun to move. So with this one, I really have to praise that and say good job. Just really great. So, and I'll actually get to those, at least one of those soon. Maybe there's only one other one, the Paint Bonanza. That one, unfortunately, didn't, but anyway, I'll get to that review later. Yeah. So this one, I'd say it's just really fun and enjoyable. Screen shake really makes it it's good. It's good stuff. Just all the juice. There's a lot of good little juice in this game overall. Everything just kind of is nice. And what really impressed me is that is not the right game. That is my game. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, that's because I clicked out of the game and then it went down here, I guess. Okay, where was I? Recoil Schmecoil is not there. There it is. Alrighty, here's the readme. Made in 3 hours. That's what I was going for. That impressed me. I made mine in 15 hours, and mine is so much not as fun. Just not. But anyway, I guess I'm still kind of a noob to the game jams. But that's a very good job. 3 hours, amazing. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I wanted to also say with the mouse thing, you could have solved it by making a crosshair for the mouse and make it some kind of a color that would contrast properly against the background so you could see where your mouse is. That would help. Or make it full screen. I think Alt-Enter? Oh, you can. Okay, I will. Yes. So I sort of take back that. Although since I have the second monitor, so my mouse can go off to the right here. So then I can still click out of the game. Oh, and of course, as I have this in full screen right now, you can't see that because I didn't have the thing. Yes. Well, anyway. There. Get it back out. So, all right, moving on. Oh yeah, I do want to say also another kind of a con is that there's no real winning in that game. You just see how many times you can kill the enemy before the enemy gets you. And it does not save your high score upon exiting the game. So, But for 3 hours, come on. I mean, that's crazy. He did really good. All right, next game, Impulse, Out of Time. Oh, and I gotta say theme though, before I move on. The theme usage is good. You know, good, not great. Because, again, that's just kind of how I feel about most of these games. It's a very difficult theme to do. Basically, you just make it kind of, I don't know. Maybe it is great. But whatever. That's why I didn't actually do any of this stuff, because I wasn't totally sure on all that. The theme is hard to, yeah. I'm just going to move on. Impulse, Out of Time by Seal4 the Jackal. This one I thought was pretty cool. I really love the art and love the music. The presentation is very good. There's many details, smooth transitions, particles, etc. And the AI is pretty decent. You know, it's not the best. Oh, and that game, I gotta say, recoil. Shoot, I kind of went past that. I don't know why I didn't say anything about the AI, but it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was enough to keep me entertained. Sorry. Moving back onto the game that I'm playing right now. Got a cool little story. And of course, the menu, let's see, he said menu template made. So it's, you know, one of the things that he's already made before. So at least he made it. And, you know, I've seen kind of the, yeah, but he did better than his usual menus. You did better. Anyway, so we got options, full screen, all that kind of stuff. Save, change, exit, or escape. So pretty good little menu here. But yeah, everything was just very smooth. And as I said, the art is really good. All the particles, the presentation, it's all nice. Really like it. Oh shoot. One thing I gotta say is that though it's not super hard, when you get to the next levels, let's do this. There are no whatever. I'm just gonna keep going because I'm not gonna try to beat this level. There are no checkpoints, is what I wanted to say. So if you do die, you have to start the entire level over. So I don't know. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not great. And because it's really a bit of a drag to just do all this over again. You play it once and you don't really want to do it again. And it's a little fun the first time you fly around, you launch off of things, and it's pretty good. Overall, it's pretty good. But I wouldn't say the level design is great. You know, like, I don't know, like this kind of thing was sort of, I don't really know how to say it. Maybe it's difficult. It's probably difficult to make the level design really good, especially since you're working with jam time. You don't have a whole lot of time to play test everything properly and to figure out what would be the best level design for the mechanics that you end up with, I guess. But anyway, yeah. I just feel like the gameplay is kind of lacking just a little. I don't know. Overall, it just doesn't feel like it should be, or like it is as fun as it should be somehow. Like maybe it needs to have more like zipping along without enemies killing or getting in the way. Just like, you know, maybe to focus on flying around and just totally remove the enemies and just have you zip through stuff. I don't know. Just something else that to keep it less stop and go and just make you fly around and just enjoy the movement and the physics more. Yeah, but I'm not sure how to do that or what that would look like exactly. So anyway, but overall, pretty cool. Pretty good job. All right, next up we got Drift War by Dr. Wolf. This is the only 3D game. So props, man, for 3D. The only person to do 3D this time around. I think this one is full screen. Is it? Yes. So let me switch this up. All right. Oh, whoops. Okay, so sound. Yeah, I want to turn the sound off. But I do want to say, well, here, first of all, let's keep it on. I think the story on this is actually one of my favorites, actually. Let's see, I forgot what the controls are. Oh yes, there they are, that's right. Yeah, the reason why I turn off the sound though, the turn really gets annoying to me, so sound off. But then I gotta say, some of the sounds don't turn off, so that's kind of weird. Like that, the shots, which I don't know if that's intentional, because then you can still know what's happening, so maybe that's intentional. It's just kind of weird that it doesn't say or something, so you kind of think maybe is this not intended or what? Anyway, so you got your hops. I thought this was just really awesome that you basically put together hover and specter. That's kind of how I feel about this anyway. It's like hover and specter put together, sort of, but also your own thing. So in other words, it's inspired by those games, as you said in your README file. Because like even before I read your README, I think I actually played this before I read it. But well, in any case, I totally got those vibes because I used to play those when I was a little younger, and I really enjoyed those games. So, excuse me. So, I'd say it's a good use of the theme. The physics and everything's pretty nice. It's more fun than it is annoying, like challenging, I would say. The shooting can be a little bit difficult, but in a way it's like, it's not bad, it's good. Because it makes sense, and actually that kind of goes with the theme, I guess, is how things move. So, good use of the theme. Oops. I am terrible at this. Oh yeah. One thing I wanted to say. Let's see if I can get it. The first level. Wait, is this the first level? Ouch. I didn't think the first level had, or did it? Did it have all this? I guess this is the first level. Yeah, this is the first level. I collected all the flags. I'm not gonna do this all again because I don't even have time. I'm actually going past what I thought I was gonna do. But yeah, I collected all the flags so that down here they were all gone, but it didn't win. It didn't complete the level or anything. So I don't know if there is anything, but yeah, it was kind of weird. So I thought you were supposed to be able to win, like it says in the PDF, I think also. You have the whole PDF thing, F1 to open the manual. So I think that's a bug. I'm not sure. But yeah, okay, I'm just gonna wrap this up and say, very cool. Whoops, I don't want Steam. Ouch. So let's see. So it's a cool idea, but somehow it lacks in the fun department for me. And I could really only play it for a little while. And then it just kind of gets a little stale. Yeah. So I guess that's all I have to say about that game. But ultimately, still really cool that you did the 3D and you have even like levels or like layers, floors, I should say, that you can hop up onto and all that. Very cool that you have more of an actual 3D, like 3D collisions. You know, simple stuff, but still cool that you would do that in Game Maker. Yeah. Retreads by Heyman Mark. Okay, when I first played this, you can see here, I have this way up really high, even though it's like not completed or anything. So you probably won't agree with my ranking. I don't know. I just did this just because I had so much fun with this. So yeah. Because when I first started this up, and I was just going like this, and it's like, wow, it's so smooth, and like stuff falls over. You know, it's just the physics engine, and the treads are really nice. the music, everything's just fun. And then like I just kind of go along, and then you come up to the ninjas, and these guys are crazy, like just hopping around and like zipping over. And I literally laughed out loud just because it was hilarious. Like it's just so good. Just the way they move, it just makes them feel like they have so much character. How everything moves and jumps. So that's why I rated this so high. Just because it is just so funny. Even though it's not complete, like you get to this second level and it's over. But yeah, it just, I don't know. This is kind of what I want from jam games, basically. Just small things, doesn't take a whole lot of time to play, and it's just fun. Or just like crazy, something, you know. But yeah, as I said, it's just smooth, and like the animation of the tank is good. Everything just feels really, really solid, and yeah, responsive, all that stuff. And yeah, this is where I think it ends. Or is it the third level? Or does it end here? I think it ends here. You know what's weird? Huh, I got 4 melons somehow before, and then it didn't actually go to this screen. It said not enough melons. So actually there is an error. I wish I would have known that, because I remember that now. I literally got 4 melons somehow instead of the 3 that I just saw up there just now. Anyway, so apparently there's a bug, or well, at least a bug. But in any case, just a lot of fun. I know it's not complete, and I said, yeah, it's rated up high. Most people probably won't agree, but I just had so much fun with that, and it just brought a lot of enjoyment to me, or something. I said that weird, but whatever. Moving on, we got Paint Bonanza by Bingdom, Iodine, and 90. So for this one, I think, yeah, this is going to go full screen, so, whoops. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, so with this, I did mention this as I was doing another one, but your only method of movement is firing, which I just found this a little more annoying than it is fun. I know it's in the interest of the theme, but like what Gone Pivot did with his game, he made it so you could move a little bit, but then shooting was like the majority of the movement, and I think that's a better way to handle it, and I wish this game would have done the same thing. It would have been so much more fun. So I just think that tried to go a little bit too far, trying to do the theme, but forgot to make it ultimately fun, first and foremost. So obviously that's just kind of my opinion, how I feel about this. So yeah, that's, anyway. And also I noticed that in the README, it says something like change shooting mode by pressing 1 or 2. And I have no idea what that means, because obviously it's not a number, since it says 0 through 9 changes the minimap size. Which, actually that's weird. Oh, 0 and 9? Not 0 through 9. Oh, it looks like 0 through 9. So then I guess actual numbers are 1 and 2. I wish it would tell you, like it gives you some kind of indication though on what's happening, because I pressed 1 and 2 and I didn't notice anything. It's also kind of hard when there's all this mayhem. So 1 is default, and then 2, I don't notice any difference though when I'm pressing the keys though too. So in any case, it's just kind of weird. There's not enough indication of what's really happening there with those different settings, if it's even changing at all. So, but yeah, aside from that, the graphics are great, and the animations, everything's just really smooth, it's good, and the audio is great. And also, victory, I wasn't even trying really. Cool. Just the whole idea is pretty cool. You know, obviously, you know, this kind of thing, shooting paint and trying to take up the most space, you know, that's not a new thing, but it's very cool just the same. And as I've said before, and pretty much everybody has said, there's nothing really new anymore. So, but there's certainly your own like personality and stuff, so it kind of makes things new. You put your own little twist on something and make it your own. That's really all people are doing, and that's what people enjoy. That's what separates different games from other games that are of the same kind of idea, is like all the different personality that people bring to the table. Whoa. And just their own little differences and stuff, which actually really make the game unique and stand on its own, even if they have the same kind of gameplay. But anyway, that's totally, it's related to this game, but I'm going off into a little bunny trail, I guess. So this game is cool, but as I said, the movement, I felt like it just really kind of kept it from being really fun, because you have to fire around to always move, and it's just a little too annoying. It's that, again, that kind of annoying, difficulty. Oh, whoops, I clicked out on my second monitor on accident. So let's just, wait, how do I quit? I guess I'll do this. Oh yeah, and if you do that, oh, you're supposed to use F1. If I would have used F1, I would have done that properly, but I did Alt-Enter. Okay. Cool game. Yep. All right. Next one. We got Recoil on Asteroids by Alice. Alrighty. So with this one, let's see. What did I think? Really, the only con that I had for this is that some of the graphics don't really work well together. Like you have your carrot and like basically all your sprites versus everything else. It's like there's kind of too much of a difference between them, which makes sense since I guess those are the things you made, and then everything else you got. Well, there's the README. Very, very large, very detailed. I mean, what would you expect from Alice? Would you expect any different? Of course not. So, yeah, good stuff that all the attributions are here. But anyway, yes. Let's get on it. I actually found this way more enjoyable than I thought I would. As I said, that was really the only con, is the graphics. And it's not really even that big of a deal. I mean, they still work together pretty okay. It's just that I kind of felt like I had to go with the con, to be honest. Because I don't know. I just felt like it should have something. I should have something negative yet somewhat constructive to say. Because it is true the graphics could do a little bit better to go together, but it's not bad. Maybe it's just a nitpick. Alright, so the pros. Mechanically, I want to say that this worked really well, I think. Unlike the other mouse games, if you've actually watched some of the other reviews where I did the mouse games, I clicked out on pretty much all of them. Maybe I did all of them by accident. I clicked out and then the game window lost focus. And in this one, though, we don't have that issue so much. Actually, we don't really at all, because for one thing, the background is very dark. I can see my mouse really easily. And for another, the player is always centered right in the middle, so that you can aim and you have just really good control. It's awesome. This is like, if you're going to do mouse stuff, to be aware and to make things work this way is really good. So, good job. I'm glad you did it this way. Overall, the game feels really quite good, smooth and solid. The loot, it's just genius, I think, the way that you've done that. You blast the rocks and they get sucked in, and it feels so rewarding, making that ting noise. Ting ting ting. All that stuff is really good. So it just makes it all the more fun and rewarding, whoops, to destroy all the rocks. So that's pretty cool. And I guess, oh yeah, and that's kind of weird how you can click and it'll move too. It's like the carrot goes away, but it doesn't. But yeah, I guess I always wanted to play as a carrot in space, and I didn't realize it until I played this game. So thank you for making me realize that and making that dream a reality. I don't know. I guess I should be more serious because, you know, this is a game jam, man. This is serious stuff. Oh, anyway, so I'm not really trying to play. I guess that's all I have to say about that game. I actually find that pretty enjoyable. I played that for a little while, actually. All right, so let's move on. We got Billy's Nightmare by Laser Tracks. This one I really, really enjoyed. Whoops. Let me just get the game window. Alright. So, oh shoot. I need to... There we go. Okay. So, the only con that I have for this one is that the controls are slightly weird. It says you can click to select here, but you have no mouse to actually, or I should say you can click to confirm a selection, but you can't use the mouse to select your selection. So it's like the controls are inconsistent in some ways. But see, you can use the arrow keys and then you can click to select. Or you can just use the keyboard and select. It's just kind of strange. I don't know, just how everything works. And then also you use R and Q to restart and quit. It just doesn't feel as intuitive as it should. And that's really the only thing I can say bad about this. But then later on, see, when it gets to here, you have your little mouse sight. It would have been better to have this mouse sight in the menu. And just to make the entire thing mouse-based really would have been good. Help the control focus, not confuse the player. But anyway, that's really all I have negative to say about this. Everything's just really, really great. The art style is awesome. I love the eyebrow dudes. Oh wow. I actually beat this before pretty easily. I like just all the various effects, and that was really close. Just the game feel, the game juice, the presentation, it's all great. Whoops. Oh my. And the use of the theme, like mechanically, this is actually one of my favorites, just because of how it's so simple, but everything, it's like, how do I say this? I don't want to say like the purpose of all the mechanics is really great or something. I don't know. Everything's super effective, like Pokemon. I don't know. Everything works so well. Everything has a meaning. There's a reason for it to be there, and it just works. So it's good. Yeah, I love it. And shooting just feels good. Everything pops and bounces. And obviously this is kind of like set up to be a mobile game, I think, because it is like the whole dimensions of the game are that way. Whoops. Oh no, no! I got kind of close. Oh, weird. Enemies killed 111. Well, that's strange, because why did that seem so long? The time when I survived, enemies killed was 70, total enemies was 69. I don't know how that works. Enemies killed 70, total enemies 69, and highest combo was 16. I'm reading off my notes on what I got, just so you know that's where I got those numbers. So it's kind of weird. Is the time random? I don't know, because this went longer, I guess, or there are more enemies. And how does the total enemies go so high? Because I don't think I missed any. Yeah, I don't really understand that. That's strange. But anyway, really, really enjoyable. And yeah, super great. I kind of want to say it's a, I don't know. I'll figure out the presentation and stuff later. But that's really, really, really good on presentation. And just the most fun, one of the most fun at least. So awesome job on that. All right, next up, we got Newton's Axiom by I don't know how to say that at all. That's funny. I think I'm actually doing, that's him. I'm doing a game jam right now with him. Newton's Axiom, yes. So let's see here. Mantissa games. So this one I thought was really, really cool. Good presentation all around, fun gameplay with a bit of depth and surprising amount of content. And this one actually has good replayability. Just one of the very few games that in this jam that I actually want to play more than once. Enemy AI is good and fun to fight. And I usually don't like space games so much, but I really, really enjoyed this one. The cons, I gotta say though, is there's no audio. It's silent as space itself. Wait. Yes, space. So maybe that's okay. But anyway, the theme didn't feel as much the focus of the game as it did a part of the game, though. It's there and it's cool, but it's just overshadowed and lost in everything else because you have so much stuff going on. So in a way, the game doing all this awesome stuff kind of went against it, in my view. But I'm okay with that. I'm just saying it didn't really make the theme shine as much because it wasn't. There's so many other mechanics that are non Newton's law based physics, that kind of thing. Newton's laws. So yeah, I don't know if that makes super good sense. So it's in there, but there's just so much other stuff too. So anyway, and I also felt like when I first played this that all the parts, they're just too far and few in between. As I say that I'm getting parts, but basically so I couldn't really ever make like these other guys 20 parts for a battleship and then 50 parts. Yeah, 50 parts for the mothership. So yeah, I don't know. So I kind of felt like maybe it suffered from a little bit of balancing issues, but that's kind of expected for a game jam when you're trying to do something like this. There's going to be balancing issues most likely. So, but really though, it's just really cool. There's a lot you can do in this game for a jam game. So anyway, I kind of want to play this a little bit just because, but I'm not going to. So really good job on that. I really, really enjoyed that. Next up, we have The Mysterious Planet of Newton by Misty. Hold on, let me check. All right, my mic is still going. That's good. Didn't cut out. Okay, so with this one, it just was really, really fun. Just another one of those games that doesn't really take itself too seriously. Here, let me also switch to full screen. I think that worked. Yes. All right. So just entertaining story, just kind of joking around, and just all this. It's like there's so much content, like story and all this stuff. And I mean the graphics are just a hot mess or whatever, but it's great. Like it's kind of endearing. I don't know if that's really the word I want to use, but it's just. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. it gets the job done, and it fits in with the spirit of the game, just being fun, having fun, that kind of stuff. I really, really like that. And lasers. Ouch. Beam out. Yeah, and it's really cool though. So you have that different kind of, you're just flying and shooting at stuff. It's a little bit of different mechanics. And there's just so much to say about this. It's just so fun. So good. I mean, look at this. Look at the animation. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can shoot like this. Look at this like total awesome pose there, right? Yeah. Anyway, I like this one. Is one of my favorite jumping mechanics via the shooting versus the other games, because it actually uses like the shock wave, and you can you have more control to actually fling yourself around nicely. Like it's just it's better. I really like it. Better than most of the other games. I think. Ouch, that was terrible. And I like that you can do the wall jumps or wall shots. I don't know what to call that. Shooting off the walls, which I think I do later on. Whoops. I guess I really shouldn't be playing this that much, but yeah, like that kind of stuff, even though that was the wrong place to do that. Oh, oops. Well, I played a lot better before. I've actually beaten the entire thing. So anyway, I'm just going to quit the game now, I think, and just kind of talk about some of the things. Yeah, the game, I really like how it ends just old school. This is just a little thing. Like, just it ends with a literal end screen. You know, it's like if you were playing on an old console or something, you would actually just turn it off or reset or something. The game doesn't automatically start over. So that's what I mean by old school. I don't know. There's just kind of a little, that's not really like a pro or anything. It's just kind of a personal thing that I was thinking is cool. Incredible use of the theme, I think. As I said, with the whole shooting off the ground and wall hopping, I like how there was so much different control you could do and stuff that actually was skill based with using that mechanic. So it felt like a really good use of that. A lot of content, a lot of fun. The graphics and presentation is just kind of messy, but it's like a good messy. It's just a fun, crazy, messy, and everything. It was readable. You could tell what stuff was. It's just good. Good for a jam. The game is challenging at parts, and I think it's a really good level to challenge. It's got some great humor in it. It's just also weird and wonderful, I guess. I can swing my arms around, as I was showing, like in a continuous 360-degree motion while firing lasers at things. You know, life is good. That's good stuff. It's fun. The only things I gotta say is the red laser noise is super annoying. That's kind of the main thing. That's later in the game. I didn't want to go to show that, but yeah, they're annoying. So that's really the only thing that I really had trouble with, aside from clicking out of the game at times. But I don't know. That's just something that most of the mouse-based games in this jam had as an issue for me, because even if I could go full screen, I have my second monitor, which I could click out of, and like I'm taking the mouse here, and you know, you'd have to like fire right at the edge of the screen or something, and that's why I would have that issue with those games. Unlike something like Alice's Recoil on Asteroids, where your player is in the center of the screen and you have all this stuff around it, and your player is always in the center of the screen, so your mouse is never going near the border of the window, so you don't have that issue. So that's like the difference. So just to point out that it really is kind of an issue with the game, and not just me, even though I do take some responsibility and say it's my need to get good in some ways, but not entirely. So anyway, it also comes down to some game design. So yeah, awesome, just a lot of fun. So that's why I rated it up so high. Just really good because it's so fun, and also the theme usage with the story and all that. It has all these elements, just really interesting and unique ideas in line with the theme. So I really like that. All right, final game. My top is Shred of Light by Jacob V and Cloaked Games. Okay, so yeah, where to start on this one? Just a really, really awesome opening. Just, I love this whole mild cinematic kind of thing. I don't know what to call it other than cinematic. It's just a really good intro, good opening scene. It's just a nice touch. So it starts out great, boom, and then you're ready to go. So the thing is, first of all, I was like, okay, what are the controls? I tried the arrow keys first, didn't work. There's no readme or anything. So then I was thinking, okay, WASD, because that's usually it. And oh yes, okay, that works. And then I clicked, and I was like, okay, you can fire. And I found out this, and I thought, oh, maybe that's how you jump. But then I just kind of continued. And then, oh, space to jump, okay. So then you can jump with space, and then you can also fire though, because I found that out early, I guess. But let's just pretend I didn't. Space to jump, alrighty, and I know that I can move, even though the game didn't tell me. I guess technically it didn't have to. But yeah. Alright, and it says you wield two opposite yet equal energies. Left click to pulse jump. So this is where you'd actually definitely figure out pulse jumping. So for the most part, the player is informed properly of controls, even though the energy left bar, or whatever you want to call that, that's never explained. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of okay too. I'm sort of on the fence on how well things are described, but I really think that it should have said something about A and D to move or something in the beginning. But even without that, it's not terrible. I can't really fault the game too much for that. Okay. So then it says your pulse can also harm enemies. Exert your force on this weakling. I laughed when I first read that. I was like, exert your force on this weakling. And yeah, and I kind of got owned by him the first time. Okay, so now here's the first actual real problem that I had with the game. It says pray at the shrine, and I was thinking, how? I clicked, I pressed spacebar, I did the other click, I did W and S, just thinking maybe it's up or down, you know, because some games have like up or down to interact, and nothing really happened. So I thought, okay, maybe it's automatic or something weird, even though it doesn't really seem to suggest that. I just kind of decided I'll keep going. So I'm just kind of going through how I played. Oops. But yeah, even though I'm sounding maybe somewhat negative or something, I don't know if I am really. This game is awesome. As is obvious, I put this as my top ranked game. Oops. Alrighty, so I should probably be hurrying up a little bit more than this. Oops. This is gonna be such a long video. Oh no. Wait, I should check and see how. Oh, an hour and a half. I should have split this up. Okay. Oh well. It'll be fine. Ouch. So anyway, let's just keep going here. What did I do before? I didn't fall down. I want to kind of show how I went through the first time. Okay, so still, again, pray at the shrine. It doesn't tell me how, and I never knew how. So I thought, okay, well, maybe it's automatic again, and I just kept going. I need to be careful and not kill myself. My attention is a little bit split because I'm also kind of thinking about talking instead of just playing, and I'm not very good at that. Whoops. Oh, great. Alright. Even though I'm going to kill myself anyway. Alright, so I get to pray at the shrine. Here it says, okay, again, I don't know, and then, oh, press E to speak and progress the text. So then it tells me E is a button. So I realize E is a button I can use there. And so I use that first to speak to him. Oh, and by the way, anyway, I'll get into all the pros and everything later. Anyway, really cool story though. I just do want to say that. So then when I was like, oh, maybe, wait a minute, E. I pressed E. Oh, shoot, I just screwed up, though. I didn't want to do that. Because I didn't actually do that the first time, like right there. Hold on, let me start the game over. Because I want to show something. And if I save at a checkpoint, it ruins it. Basically, there's a bug that I call Attack of the Clones. That's I have dubbed it Attack of the Clones. So basically, you can make as many clones of yourself as you want. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Well, I don't know. I'll do it anyway, because it'll ruin the game's balance a bit, quite a bit. All right, I have to kill this guy. Actually, I should just kill myself. Even though I killed myself before by falling off. I don't have to do that. I don't know why I thought I had to do that. Doo-doo-doo. Alright, so since I didn't get to a checkpoint, I go to the start, and look, I have a friend. Hence, Attack of the Clones, because now I have a clone, and we will attack things together. So now, I am very powerful. And I can do that as many times as I want. So I could do that. Of course, the first time I only did it once. But, you know, I could just let myself die again. Doo-doo-doo. And then look. All right, we're the three. The three amigos. Alright, I'm gonna stop that now. I'm just gonna go with this. Well, okay, I'm not gonna start over because I want to be a little OP just so that maybe I can go through this quicker. Alright, so I guess now that I've kind of showed that little thing, I can start getting into my stuff here, my notes. Alright, graphics and animation are very impressive for being such fast work. And I really like the purple colors and everything because it gives the sort of darkness mood, and it's just really good. Shows that Jacob Fee is definitely an artist. I'm not an artist, but I know a few things because I've done some studying and research and all that stuff because I've had to try to do my own art, and I really like to try to do my best. So I know about some things, so I can actually look at some of this and go, oh, that's cool, that's that, and that's this. He's using the colors for this and that kind of thing. So it's just awesome that I can see some of that and appreciate it to some extent. Let's see here. I also really like the music. Cloaked Games, his music fits really, really well with just the whole art and the mood, the setting of the game, and what it's trying to say, so to speak. It kind of has sort of like a, I don't really want to say despair, but it's just like that, or like lonely, like abandoned. Yeah, I'm not really finding the right words to say it, but it's working. It's there. It's great. Everything comes together. So really great teamwork, guys. You have done some really good stuff here. Making the game have really good like emotion and stuff. I really like the story, like all the elements and everything, the enemies, like all the way, everything was designed, everything works together so well. It all makes sense. So yeah, it's just cool. The attention to detail is so good, and the thought that's put into the story, it actually makes it interesting. And also the way people talk and stuff, it's not just like generic kind of stuff, it has its own kind of character. So it's just really cool. Just all these different things I really, really enjoyed about the game. Even though I wouldn't say the theme usage is super strong, you know? And everybody said this, everybody knows this, even Jacob said that, I saw him say something about he really just wanted to do this kind of game, so he did kind of just make that part of it. So it really wasn't so much about the theme, but he still did a really good job to use the theme. It's definitely not the best use of the theme, but still, the game is just so good, and the theme is still there, and it's a core mechanic, so I still felt it was fine to rate it my top. It just won't get my best of theme usage. That'll be a different game. But in many other things, it's awesome and totally winning. Ah, yes. Oh, and this guy. So like you can just kill him so fast because now I have the triple shooting, triple power. Oh yeah, another thing I really liked is how there's actually a fair amount of content. You have the different enemies, and then you get to here you have your light saw blades, and as you kind of progress, you kind of make your way out of this dungeon thing too. You get up more to maybe like a surface kind of area, and then you get the light characters, and so that's also goes into part of that aspect of the game being really pretty well pretty well thought out. And you know, like this is the pit where the dark guys come from, and then you get closer to the surface and you have the light characters. So it's just really cool that all this thought that was put into it, or you know, at least I expect that was all intended, because I remember the light, like the boss dude, talks about you being from the pit. I think it was him anyway. Oh, floating in the air. Hey, I've seen that in many 3D games where the guys die and he's just like floating in the air. It reminds me of that. Anyway, just a minor bug there. Nothing big. I mean, I guess you can call it a bug. Yeah, and you know, these guys are animated, and yeah, it's just all so cool. The glowing candles, and you got your foreground elements and your parallax. It's just so much, everything. As I said, there's so much awesome presentation stuff at work here. And when the falling water, gotta love that. Oh, here it is. It's the boss guy. Not the actual fighting of the boss. As I said, yeah, there's so much content. Yep, stalking around the pit. So that's what I was talking about before, where you come out of the pit stuff, and you get up later, up here more, or something. Well, closer anyway. Skimming through all that because, I mean, I know it, I've played it. And I'm just kind of showing. I don't know if I'm actually trying to go through the entire game. I'm just sort of playing it. I probably should have... Let's see, like you would actually do this differently. Like he comes at me. Oh, I'm not doing that right. Well, anyway, I wanted to show that there are different ways of dealing with enemies, but I guess I kind of screwed showing that up properly since I'm so overpowered. And also I kind of forgot how to do it. But different enemies will do something, like he does that to show he's gonna do his attack. So when you learn enemy behavior patterns, you can actually fight them. There's even a little bit of that. So the enemy AI has some thought. I gotta say here, this was a little bit weird, the design. The water feels like it's kind of running out of nowhere. Just a little bit. Just kind of strange. Just a little tiny nitpick thing there. Alright, but anyway, I'm on the surface now. We got the clouds. So now we got more of the light people. So it's just really cool. And we got some grass and stuff. Alright, let's just get going. Oh boy, not new. Oh, the timing of that was perfect. They did not really let me land. Okay. Let's see, what else can I say about this? Yeah, so really the only bad thing was not really knowing to use E to pray at a shrine. So I think that was just an oversight, just because as the programmer you probably knew, and just kind of forgot, oh wait, nobody else knows that at that point. Those oversights can happen, especially with the game jam. Whoops. Where you are kind of pressed for time and you gotta do some stuff fast, and yeah, anyway. So Yeah, and then as I also said, the other negative thing really would just be that, ouch, that theme usage. Oh yes, I forgot that's not good. Oh no. I wonder if my other guys will die. Oh yes, they do die. So... I forgot I have jump for ouch. Oh no. Okay, I'm not doing good. Oh no. I did not have that much trouble at that point before. Not at all. Oh no. I'm back a little ways. Wait, oh yeah, I gotta finish these guys. Was there a shrine over here, or is it just... No, okay. Alrighty, let's try to do this properly. So let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the theme feels a little tacked on. But it's not too terrible. Dang. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with that part. There we go. Now, I mean, we do still have some of the dark guys up here too. So, I don't know. But it's still like... sort of the surface being mostly the white, like, light dudes. And then you have now a light dude you speak to. Oh, it's you. Shadow who wields the light. Shadows more. Yeah, it's just really cool. You have the different sides and the contrast of, but then you're like the middle and just all that stuff. Anyway, but yes. So I think I don't really remember, but I think I'm pretty close to the end. Possibly. I thought I was. I don't remember anymore. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, whoa. Forgot about those dudes too. Yes, here's the end. Okay. I don't know if I can beat him, even though I have 3 guys. I don't remember if I... Yeah, let's just zip past it. It says he'll kill me, basically. Ouch. Okay. Oh, I forgot about that. That's painful. Oh yeah, yeah. The triple guys really make that easy. When I had 2 guys even, I had a bit of trouble. I died on him I think twice? Maybe 3 times even. And I really, really like this ending, just standing on the edge, looking out. You can't keep it, just so much. Jacob is an artist, for sure. Like, it just shows, not just graphically. I'm talking about the story and everything. It's very cool. Must be cast away. The only thing I gotta say is it just disappears. It's a little bit saddening. I would have loved to see it just kind of float off and then break up into little sparklies and just kind of, you know, that would have like totally sealed the deal for me. Still, you know, it's great, but it just would have been so awesome to see that. But yeah. Super, super cool. I really loved it. When I saw that and just all your animations and everything, I just definitely had pretty high expectations, and you did not disappoint. You guys did great. Just everything, as I said, worked together, the audio and everything. Super awesome. All right, so that finally ends all of my, all of my reviews. I did, I kind of fumbled around a bit, as expected, but at least I kind of did it, I guess. I kind of did the reviews as I wanted to. That's about as good as it's going to get. So I hope that my feedback and my comments were good. I never meant any negative things just to be me smashing on a game. I just hope that it's helpful, that if maybe it would bring out some, bring to the attention of some of you guys. Like maybe some things that you didn't see as a problem before, but actually was a problem, that kind of stuff. So I just hope it was helpful in some way. So you could actually grow, maybe do things different, or actually even for the positive things to see, oh yeah, people really like this, take my feedback along with other people's feedback and see what people really think is awesome. So you can keep doing that, your strengths. So it's just really good. That's what I really hope that this will do for you guys. All right, you guys have a good one.